Hello, YouTube and world. Qapla, it's Birdo Prey 5, and welcome to Deep Space Nine Wednesday. And thank you, Thomas Potts, for a $4.99 sticker chat. Says, how's it going? It's not bad. It's not bad, Thomas. I've been better, but I've been a lot worse. We can leave it at that. Joseph Patrick with a €2 super chat. I am so sorry I made you wait so long, Joseph. Entertain me. I'm in bed and waiting. Wow, that is, I don't know about that. Don't you have a wife to entertain you when you're in bed and waiting? But I will do my best. I will do my best. Thank you, Joseph Patrick. I would have been on about a half hour earlier, except the hose that fills the air into my mattress at the hospital bed decided to fall off while Camille was here. And that meant I had to get out of the bed, and Mama Prey had to open up the bed and use her newfound mechanical skills to find the hose, refasten it, and tighten it down real nice and tight with an O-clamp, and hopefully we'll be good for another few months. This is the second or third time this hose has fallen off since they replaced the part a year ago. Yeah, they cut the hose a little too short. Not big enough to fix it, but to complain about it, but big enough it's going to cause us a problem. Mecca was scary during her stream today. What was that beep? Did you hear a beep? Yeah. Any idea what it was? No. Oh, it wasn't from the bed. No, it wasn't. It sounded like it came from there. Mecca was scary during her stream today. Oh, I will get back to that in a little bit. I don't know if there's more info as to what. I did not see Mecca's stream today. But let's start at the beginning of the chat. Joseph Patrick at 3:59 p.m. my time, about an hour and 20 minutes ago, says he was seriously ready. Cinnabon Bunny was a little early, saying hello. Welcome, Cinnabon. I told everybody it would be soon, 15 minutes. I lied. It turned out to be closer to 20. Joseph says, I'll be readier than ready. And then when I actually went live, like a second after I went live, probably before he even knew I had gone live, Joseph said, I'm going to watch the stream in bed and share the experience with you, 11:16 p.m. I'm sorry about that, Joseph. Actor says hi, welcome. Actor Thomas Potts says hi, welcome, Thomas. Live with Matthew forgot it was Wednesday. I did not forget Live with Matthew. At 8 a.m. this morning, I was already doing the videos and getting this stream ready. And Live with Matthew, I guess he has an experience coding. I don't know, or programming. I don't know if that's your profession or just a hobby, but he wrote up a script that should make even better slideshow videos. However, as I'm not a Python guy, I've yet to figure out how to actually run it, and have been too embarrassed to ask for help. But I will figure it out. I just need to get some time and play with it for some time. I'm sure I'll figure it out soon enough. I haven't yet. But Live with Matthew, I have the webpage up ever since you sent it to me 6 months ago, 2 months ago, maybe a month and a half ago. I've had it up. I look at it every so often. One time I spent about 20 minutes trying to get it to work, but then I had to go because Camille came or something. I got to get back to it. I've never used Python before, so it's a learning experience. But once that's up and running, I think we'll have even better slideshows when we do videos like this, where it's just going to be a video of slideshows in the bottom corner of the screen for those who don't want to watch live. So thank you again, Live with Matthew. Not Ryan Johnson says hello, and Qapla Hello on Qapla, not Ryan Johnson. Azine says hello, Bird of Prey 5 and fellow nerds. Hello, Azine. Loyal Kurogan. We are now in round 3 on the Anti-Tracker Space Engineer server. There's been its fair share of drama. It's a new server, new rules. No, well, it's not a new server. It's a new game. New rules. Might not have been thought out the best. We're still trying to figure it out. Bear with us if you're new to the game. If you're in the game, be careful. Understand that unlike last round, you might lose your stuff really, really quick. Okay? Anti-Tracker wanted to have our base and the turd base, the Kuroga base and the turd base are like 1 kilometer away. And they're attached by a giant hallway. So, and there's no safe zone where you can build the ship. So if you're building a ship on the roof of your building, a Kurogan could come over and destroy it while you are getting ice or refilling oxygen or doing any number of things or just signing off and you're going to come back later. And the same thing can happen to a Kurogan if they leave a ship on the roof. I don't like it, but it is the game. It's the game that we were presented to us. It's the rules we have. So try not to leave a ship sitting around. If you're building it, maybe build it in secret, build it off in a distance. And if you don't have time to finish it, don't start it. I don't know. Or come on when there's no one else online. I know I get online for like 5, 6 a.m. sometimes Eastern. I'm usually the only one online. I don't know what else to tell you. But I'm very, very sorry for the people who had it happen to them. Like I said, me and Anti-Tracker, mostly Anti-Tracker, take that responsibility. It wasn't anyone's fault. They were playing by the rules. I think these rules probably could have used, a little more tweaking. But hey, it's a game. It's a game. Many a times I said I'm never going back to this game. And like I said on the website, like a battered spouse, I was back every time. It's that addicting. So if you can break out of it, then more power to you. But I do hope we get to keep everyone in the game. And if you have not yet chosen a side, I suggest you choose Kurogan, where we honor TM. Darth Revan says, I demand entertainment. Okay, Darth. Because you demand it, you will have it. Uncle Remus says, hey, Bird. Welcome, Uncle Remus. Darth Revan says, juggle for me. Sure, Darth. I'll juggle this scissor, these pills, and I'll open the Swiss Army knife, and we'll see how the juggling goes. Is that okay, Mama Pray? Oh, never mind. I said Darth wanted me to juggle for him. So I was going to juggle the scissors, my pills, and the Swiss Army knife. No, Mama Pray is saying no. Oh. She doesn't want to have to clean up blood. Thomas Potts with his $4.99 super sticker. So apparently YouTube started out this rolling out super stickers to everyone who's eligible for super chats. I saw it today on Nerdrotic stream for the first time. And I was like, okay, I gotta try it. I bought a burger icon for $1.49. Thank you, Thomas, for how's it going. I suspect that in a week or two, nobody will be using these super stickers, but for the next week, they're going to be the new hotness. That's an internet term. Darth Revan says, where's my latest supply of Beagle Bites? Darth, I'm not your supplier. You probably want to talk to Anti-Tracker. 47 Yorktown says, hello, Mr. Bird. Welcome, 47 Yorktown. Mike Richards. Greetings from Columbus, Ohio. Oh, great bird of the internet. Greetings, Mike Richards. Thomas Potts says, there, Darth. Some juggling. John DeMarco says, hello, yay for Deep Space Nine. Indeed, yesterday I was in one of those moods, and I not that I skipped ahead, I watched Deep Space Nine all the time, but it was in a pale moonlight kind of mood. That's going to be so great. When we get to those episodes, those 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th season episodes, oh my God. We're not far. Even 2nd season and 3rd. There's some excellent 3rd and 2nd season episodes. Today's episodes, Melora. It's the name of an ensign. Melora. This one hits home. She's got a power wheelchair. And she's pissed off. She's like, who would design a station where every room has a step? Or you have to walk up or down to get through every room. I actually had to put ramps for her power wheelchair to get through. Because they forget they're in a space station and they have anti-gravity stuff where they could just give her a hover chair. She's actually in a wheelchair where they still need ramps. Why doesn't she have a hover chair? I don't know. But we'll get to that. Yosef was ready, entertaining him. He's in bed and waiting. Thomas Potts said that Mecca was scary. Why? What happened with Mecca? Mecca, not Mecca. Mecca, the YouTuber, not Mecca, the city in Saudi Arabia. I know what's wrong with a lather. Mountains of Elysium. Mainly, I can't go there. Mountains of Elysium says, greetings, Birdo Prey 5, Mamo Prey 5, and fellow nerds. Greetings, Mountains of Elysium, a.k.a. Shronmore. And Shronmore says, and greetings to Sassy, chaser of cats, eater of cookies, stalker of cardinals, defiler of cushions, and scourge of the squirrels. Indeed. Lightwood Matthew says, the sentence is almost as bad. Where did it go? The sentence is almost as bad as Bird saying he loved the D in the last Dear Bob. You people with your perverted minds. Actor says, next you will expect Bird to sing you Careless Whisper, Yosef. Yosef says, Hector, in December I expect Joe to sing a lot of thematic songs. If that means holiday, that's fine. Sci-Fi Jason says, Qapla, Bird of Prey, hope you're feeling better. I hope so too. Darth Revan says, Bird of Prey, they cut your hose a bit short. Lol. Oh, Jesus. Can't say anything. Thomas Potts says, I didn't like this episode. If I remember, I haven't watched it in a while. I don't think it's one of the best. I just that it hits home because of the power chair. And it gets a little creepy because we're starting to see a pattern, and we'll see this pattern repeated again and again, in that a certain doctor seems to be attracted and want to have physical relationships with all of his patients. Just a little weird. All of his female patients. Mountains of Elysium says, logging in from this account will give the stream an extra like. Shh. No one needs to know I am logged in on 2 accounts. I won't tell anyone. Yosef says, Bird of Prey, I hate it when hoes fall off the bed. Wow. Thomas Potts says, someone on Twitter is saying nasty things about her, and she flipped out. I doubt she will keep her stream up. Oof. So you're basically saying everybody should go listen to Mecca's stream right now, because my stream will probably be up later. I gotcha. Sharonwar says, home in Karoga, where Sassy and the alpaca play, where often is heard an SOB from Bird, and he flips off Turdistan all day. Thank you. Actor says someone pro Batwoman. That kind of people exist. You know, a lot of weird people exist. Yosef says, don't forget, hi Joe, Mamo Pray, Sassy, and the Flock. Thank you, Yosef. Thomas Potts says, of course, it's Wednesday. That's what happens after Tuesday and before Thursday. Wow, Thomas has an amazing grasp on calendars today. I don't know. Thomas, did somebody hit you on the head? The time change brought Thomas Potts into the right, the same time. Darth Evans is Bird of Prey. You need to get time to play with it. Spend 20 minutes trying to get it to work. Bird quotes. Live with Matthew, no worries. I'll make a video using it. I often forget that not everyone lives in my head and know what on earth I was thinking when I code. I understand, and I did coding, but not Python. I started with C. Well, I started on Basic. And I did some stuff on Visual Basic back in the day. But then in college, I started with C and some early C++. And then I started just doing PHP. And I know all real coders look down on PHP. I'm fine with that. I get it, but that's where most of my experience is. I also did Java, real Java and JavaScript. Two very similar names, but completely different languages for completely different things. Always bugged me that. Why would you name? It's like, oh, here's Pepsi. And here's a completely different product by a completely different company that tastes completely different. In fact, it's not even a soda. It's an oil lubricant, an engine lubricant. It's called Pepsi 5. Why? Why would you do that? They're both liquid, and nobody had ever heard the word, nobody had ever used the word Pepsi before for lubricants or liquids of any type. Darth Evans says bird of prey. Actor says first beagles, then alpacas, now pythons. Uncle Remus says bird, did you listen to Meatloaf? No. No, did not listen to Meatloaf. I'm sorry, Uncle Remus. Actor says, yeah, good luck with Turdistan rules. Gotta give him a chance. Actor. Sci-Fi Nation says the Turdistanis have no honor. Absolutely. Anti-Trekker can claim the Romulans have honor, but that's only because of sure, the Romulans look honorable to a Turdistani, because that's just how that's how less honorable a Turdistani is. That Romulans seem like the most honorable race in Star Trek. Thomas says, bird of prey, I suggest we should be allowed to build defenses around our own bases. Thomas, I'm assuming we can. Anti-Tracker originally told me that we weren't going to be allowed to build turrets within firing range of our base, of the enemy's bases. And of course, the next day, Azine and Wesley leave the base and get shot and killed immediately. Because Anti-Tracker, and we saw who built it, it was Anti-Tracker himself, built turrets right outside our now, it wasn't right outside our door, but it was 600 meters away from our door, so it was right in the firing range of the turrets. Of course, he said it was an accident. It was an accident this morning. It was just things they were building. You guys were building to protect your mining interests. If it happened to be 600 meters away from the door, just the perfect amount to be right in range, it was an accident. Sure. You guys are going to have some accidents coming soon, too. Talk about honor. But yeah, Thomas, I would say go ahead and build some defenses on your own bases. I believe that the Turdistani base and the Kurogan base are more than 800 meters apart. we'll have to measure. Okay, if it's 600 meters apart, whatever the distance between the Turtistani and the, really what it is you could set up turrets, but you just can't set the range to be further than the restaurant. Okay? In fact, they can't reach the restaurant. People have to be able to get to the restaurant without being shot at. So maybe you set it for 300 meters. As long as it's not shooting across to the other team or even to the restaurant, I say we're probably good. I think anti-tracker would be fine with that. I'd be fine with that. So I'm just going to say go ahead and do that. Because it's ridiculous that you build a ship and then somebody comes in while you're busy getting ice and with no resistance at all because you're not allowed to have any weapons, they can just destroy it. Now, I understand, and I don't blame anybody for doing that. That was what the game said to do. But I think we need common sense defenses. Thomas is Sci-Fi Nation. You might not know it, but Bird is Kurogan, and Kuroga runs and hides. Not true. Not true. John DeMarco says, only you could say the Turtistanis are honorable in the same way the Romulans are honorable. I'm just pointing out that's what Anti-Trigger believes. Sci-Fi Nation says, Thomas Potts, better to live and fight another day instead of dying foolishly. Absolutely. Absolutely. Even Klingons, the most honorable race, they don't go on suicide missions just for the sake of suicide missions. There's no honor in just going out and purposely getting yourself killed. If they can retreat so they can fight another day, they will. They will. Klingons retreat when they have to. When it makes tactical sense to retreat, they retreat. Sci-Fi Nation says, Thomas, I just read that. Actor says, that I shuffle when mentioning honor, lol. Thomas says, one Turtistani member is not honorable. He will be taken care of soon. Uh-oh. Oh, is that Anti-Tracker? John DeMarco says, juggling with scissors. What a great idea, especially in a hospital bed with an inflatable mattress. Yeah, it's not so good. Darth Revan says, Bird of Prey, you should put a giant wall in 1.5 miles from the cafe and then create a safe dome, but everyone works on it. Well, I can't technically create safe zones using admin powers. That would be cheating. And if we use the economy to get safe zones, honestly, I don't even know how to do that. Apparently, it's possible, but I think it takes quite a while before you can buy the credits you need to run a temporary safe zone. Joseph just submitted a Dear Bob question. Will you do it on Friday? What's today? Wednesday? Probably do it on Friday. I just looked. There were 15 questions already. I might do it. I'll try to do it on Friday. There's a chance I do it tomorrow, depending on what type of stream I do tomorrow. There's also a chance I do it in a video. If there turns out to be 25 or 30 of them, that could take 2 hours just to do all the Dear Bops. So I might do half of them as a video beforehand, and then do what's left on the stream. I don't know. That's where we're at with Dear Bob. By the way, if anybody ever needs advice, go to birdofprey5.com, click on Dear Bob, and you can anonymously send in, completely anonymously, it's not a joke, send in any question or issue, however long it is, type it up. I will read it, and I will provide you free advice either on a dedicated video that I put out or on a live stream, usually Mondays and Fridays, but could be anytime. So, yes, if you need that advice, free advice, from a certified life expert, myself. You can go there. Now, if you would rather advice from the female perspective, Anti-Trekker claims Mrs. Anti-Trekker gives advice on antitrekker.com in the Ask Mrs. Anti-Trekker forum, but I think it's just a way for her to talk to Dr. Alice in secret. Just a theory. Thomas, I didn't notice if Anti-Trekker had a super sticker. I assume he did, but I don't think I sent him a super chat today. I sent it through Streamlabs, so I wouldn't notice. Yosef, says Thomas Potch. Yes, okay, so he did. Darth Revan says, Bird of Prey, Mamo Prey, hope you are well. And you should make episodes for Bird's channel called Mamo Prey Story Time. We should. Yeah, Mamo Prey's down with that. Mr. Londell says, Qapla, Mr. Londell. Melora was a really good episode. Well, some people have different feelings. I didn't think it was bad nor great. We'll see. I haven't seen it in a while. John DeMarco says hover chairs will be delivered on Tuesday. Actress's note for future Joe: you should be starting a review. Yes, I should. Shromore says, I'm waiting to see how you handle. It's a fake. Yes, in the pale moonlight. I can't wait. Uncle Remus says need the hover chairs from Wally. Darth Revan says, Bird of Prey, if you get an appointment with Dr. Bashir, ask him for any news on Cisco. Shromore says, remember the alpaca mo. Thomas says, I know day it is. It's October 31st, 1993. Happy Halloween. And Thomas is, of course, referring to the day this episode originally aired. It originally aired on October 31st, Halloween of 1993. So Joseph says Pepsi is not a lubricant. Exactly. Thomas says, to be fair, Anti-Trekker isn't good with maps. Mr. Lodell says there should be several miles between factions. Yeah, but Anti-Trekker wanted to have us all in one big building, separated by long hallways. I think he might still be, dealing with the medication he's taking. Sci-Fi Nation is Thomas. Indeed, he isn't. He proved it in latest videos. That's true. Darren Wagner says, what up, Bird? What up, Darren? Thomas is 25 watching and 14 likes. Kennewick says, Thomas Preston. Thomas Preston. My apologies. 25 watching with 14 likes. Thank you, Thomas Preston. Kennewick Sapien says, no Klingon suicide runs unless it's storming DS9 with blade weapons, when the other guys have guns. Well, unless it makes sense to the plot. Joseph says Americans using metric units and they get killed over it. What was that? Mountains of Elysium says he who fights and runs away, or just flat out runs away, lives another day. Indeed. Okay, guys, so we're going to get ready. We're a couple minutes out from getting ready to start. So this is Season 2, Episode 6, Melora. If you're going to watch it on your own, please get it queued up in Netflix or Amazon or whatever you have it on, CBS All Access, DVD. And if you're going to watch it with me, you can go to my Discord. If you go to birdofprey5.com, click on the Discord link. You go to my Discord and you click on the off-topic main channel. And I put a link in there about 10 minutes before I started with a link to another website where you can watch the actual video with me live as I watch it. So you'll get the full audio and video of the episode. Now, obviously, I can't put that on YouTube. So if you don't have your own copy to watch and you don't want to watch with me, in the lower corner down there, in fact, I'll bring it up. I'll bring it up now just to show you it's paused. But in the lower corner down there will be screenshots from the episode, so you can have some idea what's going on as we go along. So we're just a couple minutes away from starting. Mountains of Elysium, I just read that. Sci-Fi Nation says, Joseph, pretty sure that happened with the space shuttle. None of the space shuttle disasters were because of metric imperial mismatch. However, we did lose a Mars probe, supposedly, due to conversion factor, and after that, NASA went full metric, which was probably a smart move. I mean, the military, from what I hear, is already full metric, so that it's always been. So it's had compatibility with, because let's face it, if we're fighting a war, it's probably going to be in a metric country. I don't think we've ever gone to war with an imperial unit country since the Revolution in 1812. So yeah, you're gonna want to have metric tools and whatnot. Yosef says, Sci-Fi Nation, one of the Mars missions crashed because the units mismatched. Yes, that's what it was. That's exactly what Sci-Fi Nation says. And Sci-Fi Nation says, 2 people watching with 2 accounts, Shronmore and myself. Ah, very cool, Sci-Fi Nation. Yosef Patrick says, on this one, I need your advice. I do not think Mrs. Antitrick would help me. It's a technical one. So it means that we are missing still likes. The ratio must be more than people watching. I agree. Mountains of Elysium says, Kenoic Sapien, it's just like a Klingon brings a Batleth to a phaser fight. The episode where they're on the planet with the Jem'Hadar and they realize that their phasers don't work. And they started taking blade weapons. I wanted, and unfortunately, this isn't until like season, I don't know, 5, 6, or 7. But I think it's like 5 maybe. I so wanted Worf and Dax to go computer beam down a Batleth, and instead of using the Jem'Hadar frickin' axe swords, Worf and Dax would have been using Batleths to do the fighting. That just would have seemed more impressive to me. Plus, it would have given the runabout computer the ability to beam down, presumably, an object or replicate an object and beam it down. Sci-Fi like twice, don't know what to tell you. Mountains of Elysium is Sci-Fi Nation. It's because we're twice as good. Oh, thank you. Kenowix's bird deserves a Nobel Peace Prize for this idea. All countries must leave metric. Did I say that? Sci-Fi Nation's Mountains of Elysium, indeed. Gian DeMarco says, to the death, season 4. Very cool, very cool. And Cinnabon Bunny says, push play. Okay, so we're a few seconds away from starting. Make sure you've got your whatever's ready, whether it's DVD or Netflix or whatever. If you're watching on my if you're watching from my link, make sure you're there now. And we're going to hit... Oh, I have to shut off the audio so you guys don't hear it. That would be a major no-no from YouTube. Okay, there we go. Okay, we're going to start watching in 5. Oh, actually, I'm a couple of seconds ahead. I skipped a couple of seconds. So... you guys should. I'll count to 7, and I'll count down from 7. No, I'll count from 5, but you should probably hit play when I get to 2. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. Medical log. So Bashir's given a medical log while the station spins. The first Malaysian, Melora. She's the first Malaysian to join Starfleet. She requires special accommodations. So Dax says she hasn't seen a chair like this in years. She's surprised it was even on file, and Bashir said it wasn't. Why? Like I said. So anyway, her race grew up in low gravity, so she can't walk in standard gravity that every other alien species uses. Basically, the exact opposite of Alara from Orville. So Bashir modified the chair to get a few more centimeters of clearance. Dax is like, why don't we just use the transporter to move her around? And O'Brien said that sounds smart to him, but Bashir said no, she specifically refuses any special treatment. You're in a chair. They already put ramps everywhere. That's already special treatment. Use the goddamn transporter. Also, he wanted to make sure that O'Brien set up the room so that she could lower her gravity herself. So she can, when she's in her quarters, she can go back to the low gravity. I don't understand why every room on the station doesn't have a little gravity control on the wall. Just think of how easy, how much fun it would be to lower the gravity from time to time. I mean, even turbo lifts. You have to remember, turbo lifts falling down is bullcrap. There's no gravity, right? Only an idiot would have put gravity at the bottom of the turbo lift shaft. They only need the gravity in the bottom of the turbo lift itself. The turbo lift, outside the turbo lift, there doesn't have to be any gravity. So she's pissed because he modified the design and she'd been practicing on the original design she sent. But she said she'll be okay. So also she wants to take the runabout into Gamma Quadrant by herself. And Dax is saying she wants to go with her. And now she's thinking that's because she needs additional help because, she has a complex that everybody's, looking at her differently because she's in a chair. And Dax is like, no, Commander Sisko wouldn't let any ensign take a runabout into the Gamma Quadrant alone. So she basically cut them off. She's like, I hope you made the exact, she doesn't want special treatment, but these are the very exact, super exact specifications she sent. No special treatment, just do things exactly as I tell you to do them. So she wanted to make sure that Julian made the exact changes to her room that she requested. He said he did. And she said, okay, good talking to both of you. And she goes in and shuts the door, has the door shut behind her. She doesn't want to be bothered with them anymore. She's not the friendliest woman we've come across. But we'll see. Maybe she has reasons. Maybe it will grow on her. Cinnabon, she needs to push the X button to turn her jetpack on. William Devine, welcome William, says they don't have powered exoskeletons in Star Trek. Yeah, why not? Why not? I mean, in Discovery, I know, Discovery isn't Star Trek. But in Discovery, which is like 110 years before DS9, they got goddamn robot bodies for people. Kennewick says Exo Squad is actually Star Trek universe exoskeletons banned after the Earth-Neo War. Well, that doesn't seem canon. Miss Londell says, so this is where STD got the idea of wheelchair Starfleet persons. I doubt it. William Devine says they have contragrav. She could be floating. Yes. She could be just floating above everything. She could probably be wearing like a jetpack, literally a jetpack without jets. Just anti-gravity jetpack. Okay, so now Quark is he's talking with an alien. They're haggling over some type of piece of jewelry. Quark wants 199 bars of gold pressed latinum. So that's the alien accepting Quark's offer. And now Quark is telling some guy that they're closed. And the guy came running over. Quark comes running over. Quark realizes that the guy is... He's saying, is it really you? Quark recognizes the guy. It's been 8 years. I guess this guy's been in prison or something. Yeah, he says you don't keep extra weight on where he's been. Quark's trying to see if he's going to be leaving. He's saying he's not going to the Gamma Quadrant. His business is here with Quark. And the guy says he's come to kill Quark. So now we got Dax and Bashir at Cisco. And they were talking about her before she came. And now she's coming slowly. She asks if she's late. He says no. She says, well, it looks like the meeting already began. She says, wouldn't it have been more appropriate to include her in this conversation? He's saying no. We discuss personnel matters all the time. She says she's used to being shut out. So she's saying that she doesn't understand why there's a medical opinion needed, which is the same problem I have with the dentist. Why does my dentist need to talk to my doctor before doing something? On that, I think she was right. And I think Cisco realized she was right. The family gave her the cane. Only a handful of her species ever left home, but she knew she had to be one. Like, if her planet had such radical gravity difference, her whole evolution would have been different. She wouldn't look like what she looks like. They probably wouldn't be humanoid at all. But whatever, plot. She said she's achieved everything she's achieved as an ensign. without being dependent on anybody, except she depended on Bashir and O'Brien to make a bunch of changes before she even got on the station. So who are you telling me you haven't been dependent on everybody? You've been dependent on everything. Is that a problem? No, it's not a problem. Everybody in Starfleet is dependent upon other people, right? I mean, Captain Kirk was dependent upon Scotty. Scotty was dependent upon his people. Everybody's dependent on people. There's no just me in Starfleet. She's saying that she did it all herself. It's bullcrap. As much as I'd like to say, oh yes, I did it all myself. No, you didn't. Right? Somebody built the spaceship you took. Somebody somebody programs the replicators for the stuff you need. So she's just getting ready to turn the gravity down. Says it's like getting into a hot tub at the end of a long day. So Bashir finds a photograph on her furniture and asks if it was her husband or boyfriend, but she doesn't answer. So Julian is no longer her doctor. Julian's figured her out. She likes to attack people. She does need the pair of boots that Spock had in Star Trek 5. Although, truth be told, if her bones are really that brittle and the muscles in her legs, and honestly, this is the problem I have too. Even if I had Spock's boots, I still wouldn't be able to fly or walk because I don't have the strength to keep my body straight. Just holding my legs up, my feet up, isn't really the issue. It's holding up everything, the entire leg right up to my spine. So she'd need more than the boots. She'd need the boots and an exoskeleton. So I think Bashir just asked her out to dinner. So he's not been her doctor for 15 minutes, and already they're going out on a date. Smooth move, Bashir. So Quark is trying to give the guy dinner. The guy who says he's there to kill him. It's surely not poisoned. He gave him clover soup. And he just poured it out on Quark. Jumbo Vulcan mollusk. Oh, he actually ate it. Quark is trying to get him addicted to Dabo. Oh, and he lined up a couple of Dabo girls. Quark's pulling out all the stops. Quark wants to propose a toast to old friends, and he corrects him and said old debts. So the Doctor and Melora are at the Klingon restaurant. The doctor's trying to order in Klingon, and basically they're ordering gok. Klingon only speaks Klingon and gives it. And it turns out that the woman knows Klingon. She's fighting with him. She's quite aggressive. She's arguing with him in Klingon, and then he laughs a bit, and then laughs a little, and in English says he likes a customer who knows what she wants. He throws their food in the air, and he gives them the good stuff. And it's actual live gok. There's nothing worse than half-eaten gok. Not half-eaten, half-dead gok. And the gok looks absolutely nothing like gummy worms. Right? Bashir is just eating the last worm. It's absolutely not a gummy worm. That is a real live worm he's eating. A real live gummy worm. Actress is bird of prey. You only need to piss Dark Phoenix to walk. I only need to piss Dark Phoenix. How the hell do I piss Dark Phoenix? I do, John Mark. I like that Klingon chef too. It's a shame he doesn't show up more often. He's a very rare character they pull out. Mike Richards as Dr. Smooth Move Bashir. So, Bashir is saying he studied tennis. He thought he could make a career. He went to his first major competition. The opponent served first. And he realized he was in trouble, which we know, if this was well before they must have thought that he was an genetically enhanced human, because really he should be dominating tennis or any other sport. So the woman excuses herself, time for her to get some rest. So Bashir's a bit depressed. He realizes he's not getting late tonight. Maybe tomorrow night, Dr. Bashir. So it's the morning. Dax comes over. They had an appointment at 7:30 a.m. Dax comes over, and she's not in her quarters. She's not answering. So instead of asking the computer, where is she, she just overrides the door to go into her quarters. And only once she's in her quarters and can't find her, does she ask the computer, where is she? And she finds out she's in some other far-off section of the station. And sure enough, she's fallen and she can't get up. So Dax is saying we need to get her to the infirmary. Impressively, Dax seems able to carry her. That's pretty. I'm wondering if she's actually carrying her, or if there's some carrying dead weight of a person is a pretty impressive task. She lifted her up like it was nothing. So Dax puts her back in her chair, and they're taking her to Dr. Bashir. Although Dr. Bashir is not her doctor anymore, and she just said, what type of architect puts a raised rim at the opening of every door? So Dr. Bashir is only your doctor in the daytime? She feels like a broken toy. That section hadn't been modified with the ramps. So now Bashir says nobody on this station is completely independent. He's absolutely right. She says she just means she wants the people to know they can depend on her. He says she's proven it. I disagree. And now he's putting on his moves again while acting as the doctor to her. I think Bashir should probably lose his medical license. So Bashir's saying there's been a lot of progress in neurochemistry that perhaps one day she could get rid of the chair. So she invites him in. And he says, I know how much I look forward to turning down the gravity. And she says, don't let it stop you, which was the obvious answer. Like, you could still turn down the gravity. There's nothing wrong. What the hell? A copyright claim came in for a video? A copyright claim came in for Bed Life, the Stanley Parable special. Copyrighted content, the Stanley Parable Part 4. Your video cannot be monetized. Ad revenue paid. Monetization in some territories. Copyright owner WMG. 30 seconds of copyrighted footage. Found due an hour and 5 minutes and 1 second to an hour and 5:31 seconds. Are they kidding me? Sassy is barking. Are they claiming copyright over the narrator's voice in the Stanley Parable? What bullcrap. What bullcrap. I'm gonna have to. I don't have to do anything, but I'm going to fight that one on this. When this is over, that's just bullcrap. Do your doctors hit on you? Asked Yosef. No, Yosef, they don't. I did hit on a couple in the hospital, but one decided she'd rather marry a podiatrist. Oh well. Yeah. Sci-Fi Nation says, so apparently Let's Plays are not fair use anymore. How the F does Achievement Hunter and everyone else do them? Listen, it's not that they took down the video, it's just that they're taking the revenue from the video. The big 12 cents it might have made. It's a matter of principle. It's not really the fact that it's not really the biggest deal. It's just the principle of it. Like, I understand if they were going to claim the whole video, that they don't want to see the Stanley Parable on YouTube because the Stanley Parable, people see how it's played, it ruins the game for them. I would disagree, but I would understand. But they're just claiming 30 random seconds of video. And they're not saying it's blocked. They're just going to take the ad revenue. So Dax and Melora are on the runabout. And Melora asks Dax, do you think there's room for romance in Starfleet? Dax says absolutely. And now they're talking about long-distance subspace relationships. Miss Lindell says, Bird of Prey, I bet it was a snippet of music. Next time, turn the music all the way down. I thought it might have been the music. It's not the music. I played it while I was listening. There was no music. There was a part of the narrator, and there was Sassy barking in the background. Track 95, Bird of Prey. Go for it. Fight it, Bird. I'll fight it, but I can't imagine they're going to release it because I don't think this was an automated. They would have noticed it before now. This had to be somebody finding it manually. Shromore says maybe Sassy's making the claim. If she's barking, she may have you over a barrel. You shouldn't have given away her jerky. There's about 20 minutes left in the episode. I just had to let Mama Pray know. So anyway, Quark is trying to get help from Odo because the guy's trying to kill him. So Quark is very, very worried that nothing he can do will change his mind. And Odo assures Quark he'll do his job. And then as Quark leaves, he says, unfortunately, he'll have to do his job. Keep Quark from getting killed. Yosef says they do not kiss. They should. Not every scene with Jadzia and another woman is going to be space lesbians. Sci-Fi Nation Bird of Prey, they're trying to copyright claim Sassy. It could be. So once again, Dr. Bashir is acting as her doctor, giving her advice on getting a new procedure. He thinks that he's figured out a way for her to become a real girl. I mean, a strong woman. Have normal acclimation to gravity. No more servos, no more chair. And she's happy and she's laughing. He's definitely going to get laid tonight. So Odo brings in a random security guy brings in the suspicious guy to Odo. The guy asks us if he's done something wrong. Odo says, not that I'm aware of, but we have something in common. And he's saying, but I don't like Quark either. But he can't let him kill Quark. So the guy said, did Quark tell you I was going to kill him? Odo says he knows the history. So the guy says forgive and forgets what he always say. And Odo says, I can tell man's intentions by the way he walks. So he asks, how do you walk? How does I walk? And anyway, the guy ends up saying he can't lock a guy up for the way he walks. And he leaves. And he looks at Odo because Odo has to open the door because he's not under arrest for anything. So now Odo watches. Where is he going? Quark comes out. Odo is saying he'll watch him the best he can, but he's definitely a man with nothing to lose. And he gives Quark like a communicator or something. And says, call me if there's any trouble, at the first sign of trouble. And Quark says, well, what if the first sign's the last? And Odo says, well, you sell pieces of yourself after you die, don't you? Shromore says, Bird of Prey. I have close to 100 of those claims on my videos. Even on videos, I have 100 copyright permissions or ownership, 100% copyright permissions or ownership, as YouTube won't monetize me, yet I'm not worried about it. You should be fighting them now, Shronmore. Fight them. You got nothing to lose. The very first time you appeal, there's literally nothing to lose. The second time you appeal is when it gets dicey. Oh, she's moving her foot already. She's lifting her leg. Wow. If I could lift my leg that high, I would be really happy too. So he's saying that hand-eye coordination is going to take a little while longer. But he's another success story. He wants to mount her right now. And it's the exact same thing that happened with the woman with the genetic engineering. That he gets her to talk again, and then he basically wants to make her his girlfriend too. So they're all amazed that she's walking around, and they're giving him lots of props and credits, but she's realizing that it's wearing off already. And Bashir's saying, it's nothing to worry about, just go back to your quarters. He goes with her. She just needs to rest a bit. He's saying it's all normal. Saying with each treatment, she'll get stronger and the effect should last longer. But the problem is she can't go into low gravity anymore because it would confuse things. Now, he's saying that she let him fly for the first time. He let her walk, and he goes in for a kiss. Because clearly that's when you do your job and you help somebody with medicine and you're a doctor, you own their body. And now she's your love slave. Those are Bashir's rules. Also, how could he have never flown before? Does Starfleet not do any zero-G training? Come on. They're in space all the frickin' time. You can't tell me they have 24/7 gravity plating everywhere they could possibly be. They have to do zero-G training. They have to do regular zero-G training, I'm sure. So the guy's ready to kill Quark. Quark is saying he's worth much more alive. He's now telling him about his 199 bars of gold pressed latinum deal. And that kind of made the guy say, oh, it's a start. It's a start. Joseph says, bird of prey, would you sell pieces of you? I don't think I would. Joseph says, how high can you lift, bird of prey? About 8 inches, maybe a foot. Shromore says, bird of prey, I'm planning to wind down putting out content on this channel and use it for commenting. I plan on moving uploads to my other channels, my nerd channel and my Catholic channel. Understood, Shronmore, I get it. So she's sitting up without the stuff. She's saying it's a strange form of buyer's remorse. She looks a bit more attractive without metal all over her body, although she's not that attractive. She's saying it doesn't feel like me. She doesn't feel like me, even though I can walk. Now I don't feel like me. I want to go back to living in a chair and using zero gravity. So she's like, if she could just go back for a little bit. And Bashir is saying, if you go back and forth, it could lead to a loss of fine motor skills. Basically, you'd be pissing yourself. She's like, so. He's saying in a couple of days, it could be permanent. Then you'll never have to go back. And she's really thinking about that. But if she gets permanently better, then why wouldn't she be able to go back to 0G at that point? The treatment's wearing off again. And Dax is with her again. Her and Dax are going to have to talk again. She doesn't understand how she could have second thoughts. I mean, real independence. Everything she wished for. Sci-Fi Nation's Bird of Prey, that was just poor writing for a dumb plot device. Yeah. So often is that what happens. Mr. Miles is in the house. Says first, welcome, Mr. Miles. Oh, she's telling the Little Mermaid story. Anyway, the woman asked, did she leave happily ever after? Apparently not. So, Quark is here to make the trade. Quark introduces the other guy as a business partner. The guy gives Quark the latinum, and he inspects the jewels, and he says exquisite. So, transaction complete, but the other guy pulls a gun now. So the guy is saying they warned him about Quark, and Quark is telling the guy, come on, let's be reasonable, and he just shoots the guy. Is it unstunned? Did he kill him? I don't know. But the bag magically flies into Quark's hand. So Quark and the guy are running, and Odo picked up the shot on his scanners. So he sends security to that level. And oh, look at that. They just happen to be going on in the same corridor where Dax and the other woman are. So the A plots and the B plots have merged. I love it when that happens. I do. I do. I mean, this has no real sense, but. So, everybody is being taken hostage by this guy with one gun. So now Ops is in the loop. They know where they are. They're saying that the runabout is leaving. They put on the tractor beam. It must be Tuesday. The tractor beam must have came. Oh, it's Wednesday. The tractor beam came yesterday. Anti-tracker, he calls Uber first. Suck on that, Miles. And so the guy says he's gonna kill somebody unless they release the tractor beam. And of course he kills Bashir's latest squeeze, aka patient. And so he says, now and make yourself clear, I want to be released now. So Cisco takes Dr. Bashir and O'Brien with him. They're being beamed right to the Rio Grande, which makes, or whatever shuttle, whatever runabout, which is actually makes sense to be beamed there because they don't have enough time. So this other shuttle's got a 10-second head start on them. And they're going through the wormhole. I don't know, he's planned this out. And right away, the wormhole reopens, and there's the other runabout. Oh, what's this? It looks like Melora isn't actually dead. He must have been merciful and shot her on stun. Or maybe he did shoot her to kill, but plot device, plot armor. Kill doesn't always mean kill. Listen, this is a good thing. If you want to kill somebody in the Star Trek universe, do not use the kill setting. Use the vaporize setting. It's the only way you can be sure. Trek 95's is Bird of Prey down with Roga. I don't know what's going on here. So the guy was forcing Dax to do something. Dax noticed out of the back of her eye that Melora was awake. And so now Dax and Quark realize they just need to slow this guy down for Melora to do something. And of course they're doing it. And Melora is about to jump up and with her last mite of strength, hit the button that controls all the gravity. It's one button access to all the gravity on the runabout. And now in zero gravity, she has superpowers, and she's able to do like the move from Mortal Kombat where the Asian guy just levitates right into somebody, and even though there's zero gravity, push him down, and the physics here leave a lot to be desired. And they put gravity back on, and Quark is now holding the phaser at the bad guy and says, we have the situation in hand. Oh, so now she's asking, why didn't the phaser kill her? So Bashir is like, all those neurostimulants. They've been pumping them in. So neurostimulants make you immune to phaser fire. Maybe next time we're in a war, hint, hint, we inject all the soldiers who are in land phaser battles with neurostimulants, so when they get shot, maybe they don't die. Right? Just in case. And even if you don't write a paper on that, maybe you, Dr. Bashir, will at least remember, 5 years from now, that time when you're in a war and you're being shot at by enemy phasers and disruptors, that, hey, if I injected everybody here with neurostimulants, they might just survive. No. He forgets. They're at the Klingon restaurant again because their Klingon food looks so tasty. And apparently you don't just get dinner, you get dinner and a song. William Devine, she was shot on stun day. I like it. Shrum was his Bird of Prey, a Klingon fairy tale. Little Red Riding Hood saluted the Targ who ate her grandmother. If Granny was too weak, she deserved to be eaten. She put up a good fight and went to Tovakor. So she is saying she wants to remember all this as they hold hands. Is this really your most fulfilling relationship ever? A doctor who treated you and then had inappropriate relations with you? That's your most meaningful relationship? That's what you want to remember? I don't know who's more messed up, her or Bashir. I think maybe they are right for each other. I think they're both messed up. They are both messed up. So There's a lot of plot armor in this episode. A lot of plot armor. I had forgotten that she lives because of special things that Bashir just happened to be using. He just happened to discover the side effect, making all Starfleet phasers ineffective from now on out, here on out, but nobody ever uses that trick again. Darth Revan's is Bird of Prey, Little Red Riding Hood, Bloods vs. Crips. Wow. Peter Brachet, I believe that's what you said your name is pronounced. Brachet. Bird of Prey, in Way of the Warrior, whose side would the Klingon chef be on? It's a very good question. I think he'd be on the station side. He's made his business, he's made his life on the station. I think he's probably an outcast as well, one we don't hear about. I think he'd be on the side of the station, not the Klingons. In fact, I would be surprised if the Klingons didn't try to kill him first. Miss Lundell says there's no such thing as inappropriate relationship in the 23rd century. Apparently not. Joseph says, Bird of Prey, get the neural stimulant, you will walk and be immortal. I wish they had it. I wish they had it. Yes. I thought we were going to get uranium to start with, but it never happened. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. If we want to give some uranium to people to start with, that's fine. What do you want? 100,000 kilograms of uranium each? That was a message that came up separately for space engineers. Darth Revan says, Bird of Prey, the chef's job honorable? Yes. As we've seen rarely, but has come up before, not all Klingons are warriors, and it only makes sense that, I mean, you don't get to be a galactic civilization spanning thousands or hundreds of star systems with faster than light travel and cloaking devices if everybody grows up to be a warrior. No, that doesn't happen. There are untold numbers of Klingon scientists, Klingon engineers, we've seen Klingon lawyers, attorneys, judges, politicians. Okay, not everybody is only a warrior. You can get honor simply by being the best in your field, doing the very best thing you can do, right? Killing your enemies is not the only way to stove a core. It might be the easiest way, right? Dying in a battle might be the easiest way to stove a core, but I think that whatever your profession, if you're a chef, and you just put all your passion into being the best chef you can be. If you are an engineer, you put all the passion to being the best engineer you can be. You bring honor. In fact, my fraternity, our opening prayer, I was a professional engineering fraternity. Our opening prayer, that which we open every meeting, and to this day, is the only prayer I have memorized. We told that we hope we bring honor to our profession. So you can bring honor to yourself and your profession regardless of what your profession is. So that chef, he doesn't need to be a warrior to go to Stovacor. He just needs to be the best chef he can be. Now, if that means giving the half-dead gawk to customers who don't know any better and saving the good stuff for himself and his close friends, I don't know. That's between him and Kahless. But he seems like he's a pretty competent Klingon chef. The place seems pretty busy, so I'd say, he's probably at least as good a chef as Quark is a bartender. Darth Revan's bird of prey. Maybe old Klingons or those who die can get to fight so they can die in battle. No, I don't think so. I think they're like, the lawyers. They said lawyers used to be an honorable profession, and they are. Just the young Klingons started thinking everybody needed to be a warrior, so they moved more towards warrior classes. But for centuries in the Klingon Empire, people had all different types of jobs and careers. The stuff necessary to build an empire. And it's honorable. If your job is to build the best ships that you can build, then that's an honorable profession. If your job is to clean the streets of the capital of Kronos, you can do it with honor. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean you're not an honorable job. Mr. Miles says there should be a new, stronger word for killing, like bad, wrong, or badong. Yes, killing is badong. From this moment, I will stand for the opposite of killing. No dab. Good no dab. I have no idea what we're talking about here. Mr. Miles. Sci-Fi Nation says they had a doctor on Kronos 1, but he was killed in a changeling attack. Oh, Kang's attack. Right, they did. They had the doctor on Kronos 1. He was killed. He was killed when those people beamed aboard wearing gravity boots. Joseph Patrick says 12.43 listening mode on. Qapla. Have a very good night, Joseph Patrick. I will be ending soon. Miss Lundell says Peter Brochet. The Klingon medics, General Martok prefers to use Bashir instead of Klingon doctors. That's true. Darth Revan says bird of prey. It would make sense that not all Klingons worship Kales, maybe Kales, maybe other gods. No, all Klingons worship Kales. Thomas Potts is anti-trigger. We have several dents somehow on the landing pad. Can't fix because of safe zone. Peter Brochet says Miss Lundell, yet arguably a medic could prevent an honorable death in battle. And Mr. Miles is low. Bob has never watched Kung Pao enter the fist. No, I have not. And Anti-Tracker says strange. I will take a look. Yeah, and he'll probably build more cheating turrets to shoot at Kuroga. We know what it means when Anti-Tracker is going to take a look. So Anti-Tracker, are we gonna start off with uranium? How much? I'll put some in the Kuroga cargo container. Darth Revan says bird of prey safe zone equals safe space. So this was Anti-Tracker's choice to have safe zones this time. And they're not particularly safe since you get shot as soon as you get out of them by accident. It was accidentally placed right at the 600 meter mark from your door. It's okay. It's okay, Anti-Trigger. We will survive. Well, I guess Anti-Trigger is not going to answer about the uranium. Anti-Trigger says, I'm fine with the uranium, but I think 100K is overdoing it. What do you want? 50? 10? 1? Give me a number. I don't care. I don't care what the number is. We've already found uranium in space. So just give us a number. Shromore, Darth Revan says Anti-Trigger got woke. Shromore says bird of prey, you need to fire more warning shots into Anti-Trigger's back. Not intended to kill, of course. Wink, wink. Sniper by the Nation says bird of prey, only because a certain evil Turtistane dictator Can't follow rules as an insert's own server. Darth Revan says 4 uranium, and Thomas Potts sends a picture of the roof, which I don't know if I can bring up right now. Let's see. No, I cannot. So I can't bring it up right now, but that's the video. Yes, it's a picture of the roof. It looks like it took some damage. Anti-Trigger says, you found uranium in space, huh? You want to accuse us of cheating. Interesting. Anti-Trigger, I did not cheat to find uranium in space. So you don't want... No, I want uranium because I said we found it. We haven't been able to mine it yet. All I said is I found it. In fact, we found it, but I found it. I found it. We have not yet been able to mine it, but I know where at least we have to go when we have the ability to do so. So, yes, I would prefer some uranium. Thomas is Anti-Trigger funny how other Kurogans are asking each other for uranium. I don't know anybody in Kuroga should be asking because I've given them all the GPS. Obviously, there's going to be more out there, but this is one. This is one. Sci-Fi says you put turrets that kill inside the other base. So yes, lol. I didn't put turrets inside the other base. Azine is mining it now. Oh, very cool, Azine. Very cool. So I take that back. We have found the means to mine it. But yes, we'd still like some free uranium. So if you guys need some free uranium to start, I'm okay with it. Just tell me how much. Darth Revan says it's not cheating. It's playing with artificial advantage. No, there was no artificial advantage here. I was playing just as anyone else could have played. Just use the game and the tools and the whatnots to my advantage. Anyone could have done what I did. No admin power necessary. Thomas says, so one day Kurogi goes into space after taking weeks in the other rounds. Thomas, we were in space early. I just don't go to space often. Okay, Azine, Carlo, they go to space all the freaking time. They build their bases in space. I like my base on the ground. I don't like I only go to space when I very much have to, only to get uranium and platinum, and I bring it back down to Earth, personally. Other people on Kuroga, they are much more comfortable in space. Okay, it's not that difficult to get to space. It really isn't. So, I mean, it's especially given the start we had. We spent, Azine spent a whole day gathering materials. We had a ton of stuff. So I guess Azine took his stuff, built a small ship somewhere, and was able to get to space with it. It's not that difficult. Chris Am says, so much for crying and not enough playing. So much crying and not enough playing. I was playing a good part of the day. Neander Drinker says, yeah, they're not cheating at all. They are mining uranium, and yet they want us to give them more. If you want to start with, we each get 10K of uranium or whatever it is, just tell me now, because I have to sign off in a couple of minutes. So if we're each going to get a certain amount, I can sign back in and put it in our tanks so that the other Kurogans can use it and we can be good. Otherwise, if you don't tell me in the next couple of minutes, I guess it can wait till tomorrow, but I need to know how much uranium you want to start with so I can give us an equal amount. Mike Richards says, and you need war orphans, the processed uranium. Well, the war orphans we got. Okay, I don't need any more war offense. We're at capacity for now until anti-tracker tries to hunt them down. Sci-Fi Nation, don't be mad. The Kurogan youth know about nuclear physics. Exactly. They need to know in case we all get killed. Then they can just redesign the bomb first and bomb the shit out of the surviving Turdistanis, if there are any. Okay, asking anti-trigger for a specific number. I know it's difficult. Pick a number, anti-tracker, between 1K and 100K. Anti-tracker says, I'm fine. We'll say 2K. Any more and it will be and I will not be needed to mine. Okay. So I'm going to put 2,000 units of uranium ignits into our base. When I get in there, and I assume anti-tracker will put 2,000 into his base. Oh, platinum. Yeah, I honestly haven't found platinum yet. I don't know if Azine has. Do you wanna give platinum to anti-tracker or just uranium? Personally, I would just give the uranium. Make us work for the platinum. I'm waiting for an answer. I assume he's just gonna want the uranium, but let's double check. Thomas says, who told you I have a massive bomb? Did that mole in the government tell you? Yes, your mole told us all your secrets. Anyway, guys, I gotta sign off. Take care. Qapla. I'll talk to you guys later. Let me know, anti-tracker. Bye. Okay. Sorry, Mama Prey had to go to the door to answer. Okay, so uranium only, 2K uranium. Thank you guys so much. I know there's no audio. I'll put the sound back on, but I figured I'd talk. Sorry for the abrupt ending, but I'm glad we were able to get this done. And I do look forward to playing Space Engineers. So, very cool. Thank you guys all who enjoyed the stream. Have a good night, all. Qapla.